Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the rocks. New studio, new season, 2026. Tonight, we are kind of revisiting a good friend of mine, Joe Whitley. Just came out with a brand new five-song EP, Joe Whitley and the Strays. He is one of the most amazing guitar players here in Las Vegas. So we're going to talk to him, get to know some of the players in his band, which are super interesting. So definitely stay tuned. So tonight is a homegrown show. This is part one. Part two is coming up shortly. So let's let Joe in and get the party started. Yay!
I'm
We
here,
made it, Joe.
just in the nick of time.
Oh my gosh.
How
All
you
right,
doing? I apologize.
we're good.
I was racing to get home on time, but I was doing Lyft today, so
Oh, okay. So anyway, this is Joe Whitley, everybody, and
hi.
this is a part one of a homegrown show tonight. So I kind of explained to the viewers it's a homegrown show. You're from Vegas. You've got
Yes.
a brand new five-song EP out, which is absolutely amazing. I have
Thank you. Thank
listened
you.
to it. Everybody needs to go follow him on Spotify. It is really, really great, Joe. So we're gonna get into this.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
Now, you've been working on this for a long time.
Yes, it has taken quite a good amount of time to complete. We started this. We had the meeting in February of 2024. So that we were gonna get it, that we were gonna do this thing, and then we started recording in March of 2024. And so, things happened because this is a record where I had a lot of guest performers on it, a lot of guests, musicians and things
We'll
like
talk
that.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was just a matter of getting everybody's schedules coordinated and a few hospital visits here and there. I won't drop any names or reveal anything too much. It's just things that cause delays here and there, but
Right.
we got it done. It's out. It's out now.
It's rock and roll. That's how it is, Joe.
Rock and roll. We're never on time.
We know this. It's funny, Joe. I just want to tell everybody the backstory how we met. We
Sure.
met at Vamp like 5 years ago. It seems like.
Yeah, that's
Because
a
how
whole
long have you been
lifetime.
out here?
6 years.
Okay, so yeah, that's about
That's
right.
about right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because my first Vamp show was September of 2019.
yeah. I
So.
mean, I that's where I met you, and
Hmm.
we totally connected like musically, right, like right away.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's finally great to. I mean, you've been on the show in the past. You were
Hmm.
just on the year-end show 2024, which was really fun. I
That
really
was
kind of want to do another one.
that was a blast, wasn't it?
Yeah, with a different subject, but we'll get into that later.
Sure.
Okay, so this five-song EP. Now you
Mhm.
wrote this with another gentleman, correct?
Correct. My producer, Jimmy Romero, he's
Right.
an awesome local musician here in Vegas. He's he's always Todd Kearns' guitar player.
Yeah,
Whenever
it's
Todd does solo shows and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Jimmy is really amazing. He is so talented.
Hmm.
For you to get him to do this, kudos to you, man, because he's one busy guy.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he does Jason Aldean's Country Bar. He does the Barber Shop every week with his group, and he's in Jet Boy. So
Yeah,
like,
crazy, huh?
yeah. I mean, that's the thing about us rock and roll guys is though, like, nowadays everybody's working double time.
Right.
Because of the way the music industry is, for better or for worse, everybody's in two, three, four bands.
Yeah, it seems that way, Joe. It seems like, well, since Vamp has closed, I
Hmm.
think that really kind of closed off the gap for a lot of people. I mean,
Uh,
you were there that last night with me, man. We were
I
rocking
was.
out.
I was. We were there witnessing history, I feel like.
I
Um,
know.
although I don't know, how long did you stay that night? Because I wimped out at about 2 a.m.
I kind of left probably right before you.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
stayed as long as I could.
Yeah. As long as my
And
feet would allow.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was talking to so many people. It was great to reconnect because a
Hmm.
lot of the times when you go there, you don't connect with the same people.
Yeah.
they kind of go every which way.
It's
So,
like a massive family reunion, I think of it whenever we get there, you know?
right, right, for sure. But let's get down to these songs. The Last Goodbye,
Hmm.
the first song on the EP was really, really amazing, and it's different. It's to me this 5 song EP is kind of blues based to me.
Hmm. Yeah, that's my roots. I grew up listening to, well, my dad was a jazz guy. So
Right.
he was all about Buddy Rich, Miles Davis, Gene Krupa, I hope I said that name right. And so, with him being from the jazz and classical background, blues is sort of where we met in the middle, and I'm a rock guy. And the only thing my dad ever showed me as far as rock and roll goes is he handed me a Beatles record once, and he was like, you want to learn about rock and roll, son? This is where you start. And I was like, and later I would find out that Little Richard is actually where you want to start. But like
Yeah.
the Beatles, sure, that's a good
Yeah.
launching pad there.
Right, right, for sure. But that song really is really great. I mean, all these songs are great. And let's talk about Stoney Curtis because
Yeah.
I know you guys played into the Cosmos, which
Hmm.
I thought was a really kind. Both of you were playing at the same time. Am I right?
No, we sort of take turns. We ping pong.
Okay.
So like I'm that first riff you hear when like the main riff of the song, that's me playing. And then I play the first guitar solo, and then he plays the middle guitar solo, and then I play the last guitar solo. So
Yeah,
we're
I
kind of
mean,
like bam, bam, bam.
right. Just the way you guys were meshing in that song. I'm like, wow, I would
Yeah,
love to see both of you on stage at the same time.
I would too.
That would that would be killer. I mean, we know how busy Stoney is.
Yeah, that man. I mean, I look up to him both physically and in the musical sense.
Right.
He's a tall guy, but
Yeah.
but
I've
he's
known
a phenomenal
Stoney for
player.
a long time also. Yeah.
The first time I ever saw him, I was like pulled in. Like that's the guy.
Right.
Like I have a pretty good meter for looking at somebody and being like, are they the real deal or are they just kind of up there having fun? You know what
Right.
I mean? Like Stoney's the real deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've seen him late nights at the Sand Dollar. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that guy grinds, man. He is
He was a hard
like
worker.
he is, yeah, for sure, through and through. And then you also used a mutual friend, Lucy May,
Yeah.
which was that song. I think that was the first time in a long time I actually heard her on a record. I'm like, wow, that's
Yeah.
really a very eclectic song. It's to me, it kind of reminded me a little bit of English rock.
Hmm.
To me, a little bit.
Yeah. So I just want to say a little disclosure there before we get into this song. So how do I put this? She booked studio time one day, and she was like she had the lyrics and whatever in her head, but she didn't have any music for the song that she was trying to come up with. So she had me come in and lay down the guitar and write music. And I got nervous because I know from being in this industry, a day at the studio is $1,000 on the low end. That's a lot of money, and to not have something prepared for the studio, you know what I mean? So to,
Right.
to come in blank. So I was a little nervous. She says like, don't be nervous, just be you. It was kind of like and so we came up with, we wrote and recorded that song in 5 hours.
Wow.
And Yeah, and you know, it was with the help and guidance of the producer Vinny. Oh man, he's gonna kill me because I don't want to butcher his last name. It's very long, but Vinny over at the Tone Factory.
Okay.
He was the producer and the drummer on that track. And so I just want to say the only reason why that song is on my record is because Lucy May was kind enough to let me include it on my record.
Oh, that's really cool of her to do that.
Yeah, because
But
it was originally intended for her solo band,
right.
but we wrote it 50-50. So when I told her I needed 4.5 more minutes on my record, she was kind enough to let me put it on there.
Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, you started off with a 5 song EP, which I think is a great start for you, Joe. Now, how did
Mhm.
you come up with the Strays as far
So that
as
that's a good question. So if you remember back 2 years ago, I opened up for Todd Kearns one
right?
time, and man, if they see this, I don't know. I'm just going to tell you the truth. so, so,
Let's hear it.
well, Monique, his wife, contacted me and said, "Hey, Joe, do you have a functioning band? And if so, would you like to open up for Todd?" I fibbed. I said, "Yes, I do. Yes,
Of course, you're
yes,
gonna say yes.
yes, I do have a band, and yes, I would like to open up for Todd." I didn't.
Right.
So she was like, "Great. We're gonna announce the show in a week. So in a week's time, I need you to come up. I need a band name, a logo, a list of people who are in your band, and your set list, so that we make sure you and Todd don't play the same song in your sets." And so I was like, "Got it." And I ran off, and I was like, I had to think of a band name. And, back in my touring days on the East Coast, my bandmates were always like making fun. We'd sit around smoking whatever. And they're like, Joe Whitley and the blah, blah, blahs, Joe Whitley. And they were just sitting there having a good time with my name, coming up with all these like,
That's
fake band
great.
names and stuff like that.
Right.
So I didn't take anything from their ideas, but I started thinking like Joe Whitley and blah. Cause like, I, you know, to make a long story short, when I moved to Las Vegas, my career, like I was in so many different bands where things could have gone to the next level, but somebody would always quit. Somebody would, it's like the old, what is it? What's that Springsteen song where it's like Joey quit, someone got married,
Yeah.
whatever. It's the old tale of like, people leaving bands. And so like I was just at a point where I was tired of someone else always dictating where my story was headed. So when I moved to Las Vegas, I thought of that as like a clean slate kind of thing. Like I get to reinvent myself and be who I want to be, and I get to be the captain of my own ship kind of thing.
Yeah. And you know what's great about Vegas, Joe? Anybody can reinvent themselves here. I mean,
Exactly.
and start like something new, something
Mm-hmm.
exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And Vegas loves it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as here's what I've figured out. As long as you're good at what you do, this town has a way of embracing you. We like talented and skilled people here in Las Vegas. And what
Right.
I thought I was going to show up and it was going to be crickets and nobody would care. But just the opposite happened. You show up, and I mean, I've been playing guitar for 18 years, so you better be good
Right.
after 18 years, right? And so, I think if you're good at what you do and you take it seriously and you don't screw around, then the people that count will notice that. And it opens up some doors for you that might not have been possible previously.
Right. Right. For sure. But it's
So
great to finally hear this music, Joe. Because
I
I
know
know
I've been talking about it like
yes. But every time I see you, Carol, it's almost done. I swear, it's almost done.
it's
You
almost done. It's almost done. I even put out those first two songs. If you look, I don't really want to put a microscope to this, but I will, I guess. If you look at those first two songs, you'll see the release date was 2024.
I know.
And then the other ones are 2026. And it's like, well, what happened there? I started putting out those singles because we were on a track. We were on time to having that
Right.
thing done by December of that year.
Yeah, for
And then
sure.
a
I
bunch
know
of
that's what you're
unfortunate
saying.
things happened and
Yeah.
roadblocks here and there, but we got through it.
But yeah, and Vegas is such a tight rock community. We've had this
Mhm.
conversation before.
Yeah,
We take care of our own,
right.
kind of thing.
We do.
And yeah, I mean, Joe, are you gonna like play out with this record? I
I
hope.
I fully intend to. I am planning an album release show as we speak. Unfortunately, I had something penciled in on the 14th of March that I had to bow out of because I just didn't feel like it was the right scenario to celebrate this thing. It was going to be at a venue with like a postage stamp of a stage. I wouldn't be able to have like a full 5 member band up there.
Right.
It was some dive bar right around the corner. I wanted something a little bit more special than that. So we're
Right.
figuring it out right now.
Oh, good. Because
Yeah.
you got some connections there.
A
Uh,
few, yeah.
yeah, you can definitely come up with a cool place.
I've got some friends. It's just, I think one of the problems is I really zeroed in on trying to make Vamped my home. And
Everybody did.
yeah, and now that that's gone, it's like there are other places in town to play. If anybody's watching this going like, what there's more than one venue in this town. It's just that was kind of like our hub. That was our home. That was our rainbow,
Yeah,
sorry, I always call it our whiskey a go go. That was our
yeah,
whiskey.
it totally was though.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was the
man,
place.
it's crazy. Joe, you remember when I had you help me when I interviewed Kieran Robertson?
Yeah, I
And,
do. And we were in the
and
back by the dumpsters, if I remember correctly.
yes, yes.
How
And,
punk rock is that?
and they were drunk as hell.
They were, but I thought they held it together for
Yeah, they held it together pretty good. But
pretty
I
good.
mean, they were drunk though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and then our little friend, I'm not going to mention his name, I'll just say his initial D, comes
Mm.
out like we're causing like a civil like unrest.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a good experience back there.
It
Like,
was.
yeah, that that was one of the highlights.
Yeah,
For
I just thought it
sure.
was so funny, and you handled that very well too, by the way. I'll give you kudos to you on being the interviewer and the host that night. It was handling a couple drunk band, musicians. It's not always an easy task.
No, no, it's
Keeping
not.
them focused.
I just did an interview. Luckily you mentioned this. I
Mm,
just did an interview. I'm not going to mention this band's name,
sure.
okay? But one of the dudes was drunk, and I had to stop the interview
Oh no.
and tell him to clean up his act. He had 5 minutes, and we're going to continue the interview.
Oh my
I
gosh.
still haven't posted that interview yet. I said I was going to do it at the end of this month.
It's unprofessional in my
But
opinion. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not mentioning this band's name or
no,
anything.
no, we
But
don't need to drag anybody.
yeah, once in a while they'll come out of the woodwork, and I'll have to,
Set
that's
them
still
straight.
the funniest one though, Joe. I don't know if you, I think I might have told you this story, but I interviewed a band in a bathtub. They were all in a bathtub. The one lead singer, which was female,
Hmm.
had a chicken head on, and the rest of the band members had masks on.
Oh God.
I stopped that shit right away, man. I'm like, what are you guys
What's going
doing?
on?
What the hell?
What is this, Slipknot?
Yeah, I'm like, I said, I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes to get your crap together, and I'm going to call you back. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, we rockers don't have the best reputations about,
But
it's
that's the nature of the beast when you're a rock journalist. So sometimes you don't know what you're walking into.
yeah.
But it makes this job very interesting.
Well, so, once upon a time in my 20s, I was kind of I was always doing something, substance wise or whatever. And so, once I hit 30, I hit the brakes on all that. And I was like, it's time to grow up, I got a hat,
Right.
funny enough, that says support day drinking. It's probably backwards.
No, it's you. I can
Oh,
see
it's
it.
right way, it's right way up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's crazy.
people, and I'm an Uber driver. So people in my back are like, They're like, "Are you?" And I'm like, "No, no, 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 it's fine.
If it's Joe Whitley, I'm gonna walk.
Get out of the car." I mean, especially after those
Right.
two accidents, right?
Crazy. I know. Let's not even get into that one.
Nope, nope. We'll skip right over it.
But okay, so you're planning a record release
Yes,
party
yes,
for this record,
yes.
which I'm really excited about. Like I said, I listened to the whole thing.
Well, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, the songs are amazing.
Thank you.
This is a great Kickstarter for you for a full record.
That's I was thankfully given the opportunity to do this. I won't drop any names, but I have an executive producer who came forward and was like, have you ever thought about making a record? And I was like, well, I'd love to, but studio time is so expensive. And, us starving musicians, that's the one thing we don't always have
Right.
is the funds to do things like that. So she was sweet enough to come forward and be like, well, what if I financed it? And, and so it gave me this opportunity to get some of my songs out there finally.
Yeah,
And
which
so,
is great.
I have, and many other musicians will tell you this probably too. I have what I call a riff bank on my computer. And so if you pull that folder up, there's like 40 ideas just right there. And it's just all stuff. Oh, sorry, I live in the ghetto. I don't know if you can hear the sirens. Um, uh, During the pandemic, when it was like lockdown and people weren't allowed to leave their houses and, that kind of thing, we'd get a thing of rum or whatever, and I'd sit in the backyard by the pool with my acoustic guitar, and I'd start strumming out these ideas, and I would record them into my phone. And then what I did was, after the pandemic, I took those crappy phone ideas and I took it to my home studio where I made presentable demos. And it was what I call them, presentable demos. And
Yeah.
then I took those demos to Jimmy Romero, and he went through and picked out his 4 favorite. Jeez Louise, that must be right outside.
They're coming to get you, Joe.
I know they're coming. They heard about my driving. No.
Yeah.
So he picked like 4 of 4 of what he thought sounded. He was like, "Oh, we can do something with these 4 ideas, out of the 40."
Yeah,
So
for sure.
so yeah, we picked the 4 strongest ones, and some of them were half baked ideas, some of them were sort of complete ideas. Like the one with Stony, I actually had that fully worked out, and he never touched it once, like to make changes or anything like that. So 2 of the 5 songs were fleshed out already. But he helped me, the ballad, he helped me out with that one, and that first song, "The Last Goodbye," he helped me out with too.
Nice. Nice. I
Yeah.
love it. But
Yeah, and
why don't you tell the viewers, like, what are some of your, because I know what some of your influences are, but we kind of already had this conversation, but
yeah,
let's revisit this real quick. Like,
sure.
what really influenced you, Joe, as a kid to play guitar?
Okay, so I have to say, my I'll get it real quick. Hold on one second. My grandfather passed away a while back, and he left behind this guitar right here.
Oh, wow.
And so I was at my grandmother's house, and when you're running around with your cousins playing tag and all that stuff, you're like, and so what would happen is, like, the room where this would sit, it sat on a guitar stand, sitting in the sunlight perfectly from a window, and so I would stop in my tracks, and I would kind of get like in a trance looking at it, because
Cool.
the first thing that ever turned me on to guitar was the way it looks. I mean, when you look at this, it kind of looks like, intriguing. So, I would always stop and kind of look at it. I'd pick it up, I'd look at it, and my aunt, who was living at home at the time, she was dating the guitarist who is now in Cradle of Filth. If you've ever heard of that band.
Oh, yeah.
He taught me my first 3 or 4 chords, and when I played that first E chord or that first A chord, man, it was something in your soul. You never get that feeling ever again. Like, or I mean, you get the feeling of excitement and all that stuff, but like, there's nothing like that first, like, bang, and you're like, I made a noise and it sounded good. And then she was like, "Well, you think this is cool? Let me show you Guitar Hero." And so, because Guitar Hero like the first Guitar Hero game was coming out, and it was like the pandemonium over that game. you know.
Right.
And I'm not really a gamer. I have a PlayStation, but I'm not like what you would call. I'm not sitting there playing Call of Duty all day, you know.
Right.
So she was like, let me, and she was a gamer. So she showed me Guitar Hero. And what it did was, when you go down the set list on Guitar Hero, it shows you the name of the song and the band. And so what it did was it connected a lot of dots in my head that I didn't know that Metallica was Ride the Lightning. I didn't know the names. I just knew that when it came on the radio, I liked it and I turned
Right.
it up and rocked out. Right. Well,
Yeah.
this put a lot of names to bands and songs to, that. And then I started learning the music. And so I would play it on Guitar Hero and then I'd go see if I can learn it on real guitar and go back and forth.
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward to Guitar Hero 3, Slash is on the front cover. And I was like, who is this crazy man with the top hat and, the long black hair? And I just thought he just looked so cool, right? With the Les Paul. And so, I started looking into Slash quite a bit. And he had just put out an autobiography that same year. And so I read his autobiography and that became like my Bible. I was like, I couldn't put it down. Like I was getting in trouble in math class, reading it, behind the textbook, classic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Joe, how
Yeah.
many guitars do you own?
I have one, two, three, four.
Okay.
Just four, not a lot.
And now, which guitar are you playing on this record?
That was Jimmy's guitar. So Jimmy has like 20 guitars or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
He has
I'm
like a whole
sure he
studio.
does.
Like he has a lifetime of collecting. So we actually used he has a Slash model Les Paul
Oh,
that we
great.
use because
Okay.
my guitar is in no condition to be recording with.
Oh,
it's it's a good live guitar, and when I clean it up, and get it. But like I sweat a lot, and so it gets really gnarly.
yeah,
You
for
know, and
sure.
so producers my whole life have always been like, "Is that what you're using?"
Oh, geez.
And I'm like,
So,
"Okay,
Joe, the half hour goes by super quick.
oh yeah,
Why don't you tell the viewers you have a website, don't you?
I do." It's just joewhitley.com. Um, and then I have a link tree, like, and that has all the links to all my socials and everything. So you can just go to joewhitley.com, and the first single is right there on the homepage. It's got a bio. We're working on the merch store right now, so people will be able to get merch and stuff like that, like what I have
Oh,
on
yeah.
right
See,
here.
I love that T-shirt, Joe.
Thank you, thank you.
Great
That's
shirt.
Sherry and Adam Del Campo. They've made this for me.
Yeah, that's a great shirt for
Thank you.
sure. But
I appreciate it.
we'll keep in touch, Joe. I
Yeah.
really want what can you tell the viewers about this record and how would you describe it?
I just so it's just a classic, no BS rock and roll record. There's no auto tune, there's no Pro Tools plugins and stuff like that. And not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. It's just is it just me, or when you turn on modern rock radio, there's you almost have to look at your screen's display to see who it is because it all
Right.
sounds very similar.
Exactly.
Everybody's using the same plugin, so when they do that, when they hit the drum, it sounds the same, whether it's Evanescence or this band or that band or
No, this
whatever.
record sounds great, Joe. It
Thank
really
you.
does.
It's really just raw, stripped performances. And one last thing I want to say, because I know we got to end this thing here pretty. But there's 5 tracks, and I feel like each track that we have represents something that is a part of my integral, like what got me into rock and roll. There's 2 barn burner rock and roll, like hard rock songs. Then there's sort of a punk rock song. Then there's a blues instrumental, and then there's like an 80s ballad at the end.
Yeah, I mean, amazing, Joe. The viewers need to definitely plug into this and really listen. I think it's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is well deserved.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely keep in touch and talk soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh yeah, no worries. Take care and we'll talk later.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, see ya.
All right.
Our homegrown rocker, Joe Whitley and the Strays. What a great record. If you have a chance to check this out on Spotify, definitely do so. It's a 5-song EP. Really great. This is the Vegas Rock Goddess. Always like and subscribe to On the Rocks because you never know who I will be interviewing next.